It's time for a true classic. This is Ackar, a brilliant Glatorian set and one of my all-time favorites. Why do I like him so much? Well, stay tuned and find out. Also in this video, I want to showcase some revamps of Ackar, and I'm going to show off a couple ways that you can use the pieces that come in this set to build your own LEGO creations. Let's do it. You know what I like about Ackar? He's simple. He doesn't have any fancy bells and whistles, no unique gimmick, no radically different design. A lot of the other Glatorians did stuff like that, but you know, Ackar doesn't need any of that. He's about as standard as you can get with any Toa or hero design. Technically, Akkar's not a Toa. But looking at him, yeah, he's got that classic IDK body frame, which was a staple across many different sets. It's something we've certainly seen before. And I guess that should make him boring, right? But he's not boring. He's awesome. In the Bionicle story, Ackar is described as a powerful warrior, very experienced, and one of the best. But he does have a bit of a confidence problem. Ackar attributes that to his older age. And I like that since he's an older gentleman, LEGO went with an older design, the IDK body frame. Yes, a few other Glatorians use that same body frame, but they jazzed it up a bit with fancy new armor, interesting designs, all sorts of nice stuff. But Ackar, he has that very traditional look. A look that was pioneered back in 2006, whereas this set came out in 2009. And they even gave him a classic Mutta red color scheme. In 2001 and 2002, Tahu Mutta and Tahu Nuva, they both sported a stunning red color scheme. And then every single year from 2004 to 2008, every hero character was dark red. So to bring back that classic shade of red and a classic body frame, it beautifully sets him apart from every other set that we'd gotten. But he also feels like such a throwback to the past. It's a wonderful balance of new and old. Oh, and check out this fire sword too. It's very reminiscent of Tahu Mutta's fire sword. Yeah, everything they're doing on this toy, it does make him feel old. They've conveyed that quite well. But you know, it's not the kind of old like, say, a rusted old car that can't even function anymore. No, it's like some kind of like vintage classic car that still looks good even today. That's how I see this set. He ain't that fancy, but what he's doing, he does very well. I mean, how lovely is this orange and red color scheme? And Akkar's mask. The fact that the whole front of the face is open, that wasn't really explored in some of the earlier concepts for masks in earlier Bionicle sets. Plus the way that the fire flows backwards, it looks awesome. And dude, this fire sword. A giant fire piece resting on this sweet silver base. It's loud, it's proud, it's amazing. Ackar has such a charming elegance to him. It's like that feeling you get when you hear a song that you haven't listened to in like 5 or 10 years, and you realize that was a freaking classic. It still holds up, even if it isn't as fancy as your newer stuff. And the same can be said for Ackar, an old classic that feels like new. Oh, and let's not forget the pieces that come in this set. They are wonderful. Let's check out what we get. Ackar comes with these awesome red ankle guards. Mitch Henry uses them here on a mock called CB075. Look at how these pieces just so elegantly cap off the lower leg and transition itself into the upper leg. The way that these pieces flare out to the sides looks so sharp and so dynamic. Plus the pop of red it provides just that little beautiful accent. This piece looks so good on a leg design. Whether you're using it up here or you're doing exactly what the set did, I've always been quite a fan of how these look as ankle guards. Another way you could use this piece is how Tony A has done here. Get 2 of them together and turn it into a head design. Then just slap some eyes in the middle and you really got something. Akkar's shoulders use these orange blades. You get 4 of them in this set. Power Jump very elegantly incorporates them into a hand design on this Power Miners inspired Toa. Yeah, using these as fingers on a giant like power claw, great stuff. BioRays also uses them, but in a bit of a different way. This time they're very neatly integrated into this larger staff. See how these blades partner with that big white sword? The negative space in between those 2 orange spikes, it's actually a perfect match for that sword. It's like puzzle pieces fitting together. Now if you're curious, this white sword, it comes on this Exoforce set, Stealth Hunter. It's a pretty sweet piece, and this is a pretty sweet design. Akkar's orange foot piece, it's quite nice. And they could be used a little bit like this. Monarth has this wonderful creation that certainly seems to be taking inspiration from the body design of the Pokemon Mewtwo. But see how the orange tail neatly wraps around the front of the waist? Monoth has used this foot piece here, and I think that was the perfect addition. It recreates the source material quite well, and just looks good. Also included in this set is this silver sword element. You could use this piece like Galaxus has done here. You have them stemming out of the back, or maybe there's some kind of like shoulder ornamentation. It's a good look. Otherwise, Kotorak has a mock called Makuta Fish, and we can see that the back fin, or I guess the tail here, it very elegantly uses this part. This fits quite well within an aquatic setting. Good stuff. And finally, we have this large fire piece. Doomspawn uses a few of these to make it look like this Toa is on fire, or there's just flames spewing out of their back. It reminds me a bit of the Pokemon Typhlosion. They got fire all over their neck, and this Toa does too. You know, I've done that myself. You take a look at a few different Pokemon designs, and you use it to inform some type of Bionicle character. Even if it's as simple as just taking flames on a back and putting that onto a Toa of fire. Pokemon is the best source of inspiration to build Bionicle stuff. And I think this piece is a perfect fit for any kind of Toa of fire. And on that, Patrick Biggs uses this piece on a revamp of Tahu. I mean, hey, if the original set had a big old fire sword, you could always upgrade it with an even larger version. This fits Tahu so well. And that's how you can use the pieces that come in this set. Now, let's check out a few revamps of Ackar. I never understood why he's called Ackar. It just sounds like you're talking about a car. Surely Ackar makes more sense. I don't know, that's how they said it in the Legend Reborn movie, so Ackar. Calcifer Project has a sick revamp of Ackar, and it gives him a lot more silver armor. Now, of course, Ackar is a Glatorian, which may as well just be the Bionicle version of a gladiator. So adding in lots of silver armor, it just makes sense, right? My favorite bit of silver armor though has to be this leg design. See how they're using these silver Hero Factory leg armor pieces? The same ones that came on Bulk 1.0. What a great idea to just flip it. That way it really wraps around the leg, and the top bit there, I don't know, it just looks so stylish and so cool. The pattern on the torso that uses a lot of those silver Exoforce robot arm pieces, very nice. It also looks like they've painted Akkar's face. They've given him a more pronounced mouth and eyes as well. I actually quite like that. The facial features can get a little bit lost on the official head. This is a nice way for it to just stand out that little bit more. And finally, Chuck Nofeld has a bit of a different take on Ackar. He's introduced brown into the color scheme, which I think is kind of cool. Brown and Mutta Red? Not a color scheme you see every day. I like it. I also like this head design, using the red headpiece that came on Furno 2.0. It does carry over some of the energy of the original mask, but this is a nice way of recreating it without actually having to use any pieces that come in the original set. Now, are those pincers coming out of the mouth? Or is it some kind of like strange helmet or maybe a beard? I hope it's a beard. Ackar with facial hair? I love that. The sword and the shield are also some fantastic additions. This is a very different take on the character, but I like it. And that, everyone, is Ackar. I love this set so much. And if you loved the mocks that you saw in today's episode, be sure to check the links in the description below. You can see more of their work right there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.